with Coach Metz. Tennis season right around the corner. Let's just start talking about the women first. Let's talk about the preseason and how that went for the girls.
Well, we brought somebody in January, so wish, with the exception of one, wish we would have had her, because in the fall we do so much more training and preparing. But the rest of the girls did really well. The ITA was a success. We brought in Lucia Rubio from Spain, and that was her first time in the U.S. and playing some of the fall scrimmages. As always, you start off and they're a little bit nervous when they get off the plane and get here, and then but as the semester went on, she started playing a lot better, and I think kind of finished at the end on a high note. And then we have sophomore leader Jimena Palomo, who is from El Salvador, came back fitter than she's been this summer and had a really good fall, and we expect her to continue to get better. We had a lot of freshmen this year playing, and I thought they did really well. Down at the bottom of our lineup, we have a lot of depth, and so I guess what I would take away from the fall is that the competition's very healthy, and they may not like that, but I think that's the best way to build your team, is to have people who are fighting for spots down towards the bottom of your lineup.
Yeah, that's a really big bonus for it, especially the way you compete. You go 1 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down to 6. And a lot of times it's that 3, 4, 5, 6 mark that can flip it, where you can come in, I hate to say steal a point, but in that sense, your 1s and 2s are going to be your tops. But that 3, 4, and 5 through 6 is going to be really where that battle is to find out who's going to end up winning the match.
Yeah, and actually that's kind of where the matches can turn, because when you look at the top 3 in our league, I mean, this is the deepest I've ever seen the MACCC. You have 3 internationals or out-of-state positions, very high UTR rankings, which is the universal tennis ranking system that we use, and so those matches are going to be so evenly matched, and but when you get to the bottom, if you're the team that has the depth, that can be the difference in whether we win as a team or not.
Absolutely. Well, let's just talk about let's break the season down, I guess you say. Let's start with the preseason, which you don't really have much of a preseason. You have a few matches to get ready for the conference play, and as you talked about, this conference is crazy tough. Crazy tough,
and then, the commissioner and the commissioner does the schedule for us, and unfortunately we open up at Gulf Coast, which we're ready for that, but you don't want to play one of the best teams the very first match of the season, so we went ahead and added 2 or 3 matches before that. So we'll actually be opening up this Friday against Wallace State. They'll come to play us. We play Blue Mountain College, and we are currently trying to fit in UT Southern. But we want to play 2 or 3 matches to get us ready for that, because opening up with a 4-hour trip to Gulf Coast is not the way you would want to start your season. So we got to get ready, and I think we will be.
Yeah. And that Wallace match will most definitely get you ready, because that's a very traditional powerhouse team as well.
Yeah, they've been 8 in the country, and every time we go to play them, we get a very, very, very tough match. So.
All right, so let's just talk about the team. You've already talked about some of the international players, sophomores. What's going to be their role for the team this year, the sophomores that you have returning?
Well, leadership, I hope. People think, junior college is just 2 years, and even though it is, there's such a big difference between a sophomore and a freshman.
Yes.
Such a big difference. Just the maturity, and they're stronger, and they look like they've been there and done that. And so I'm hoping that, we have Caitlin Greenwood, Cheyenne Hughes are 2 of our sophomores that have had lots of match experience. And so I'm hoping that will help teach the freshmen, calm their nerves a little bit, and hopefully they'll play. I mean, both of those 2 won most of their matches last year, so they're considered 2 of the better players coming back in our conference this year. So I'm hoping that they'll add some much needed leadership there.
And let's touch on some freshmen that are coming in. It's a quick adjustment. People don't realize just how big of a jump it is from high school to JUCO in any sport, and especially tennis, because now you're looking at not only playing kids from Mississippi, but now you're having to play internationals that have been playing since they were little.
Yeah.
So
yeah, honestly, and the other thing about Mississippi high school is some of these kids have been locked into playing just doubles or just singles, and then they come here with the possibility of needing to play both, and so that's a transition period as well. When you take like a girl that maybe has been playing primarily doubles or mixed doubles, and then she comes here, starts playing singles. Sometimes they do great, but it usually takes a little while to make that adjustment. And then I would say, just like whether it's Division I, NJCAA, it doesn't matter. The difference between high school and college is always they're more solid, more repetition in practice, and so they just are more consistent. And so there's always a transition period where they come here and they look great, but they need to continue to get a little bit more consistent, and they will.
And another good thing for you is you're getting new digs. The new building coming up. Now the ice kind of set us back a little bit, but that's going to be a great addition for both the men and women's teams.
Yeah, it's going to be great for recruiting. It's going to be great for them. They are driving me nuts right now because they want to know when they're going to be able to get into their locker rooms, but it's going to be second to none. And the renderings we saw, as you've seen, are beautiful. So looking forward to that.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next?
What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
What's next?
Renaissance Bank, understanding you.